Now we start with Russia. Top officials from the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe have made their first visit to Moscow since Russia's invasion of Ukraine in 2022. The OSCE's acting head, Swiss Foreign Minister Ignazio Cassis, and Secretary General Feridun Sinirlioğlu met Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov for several hours of talks. Cassis said the goal was to reopen dialogue, saying without talking there can be no trust. The official said they stressed the need to end the war and highlighted the heavy human toll of the conflict. Cassis has also added the OSCE could deploy a monitoring and verification mission if a ceasefire is reached. The visit comes as Ukraine, Russia, and the United States held trilateral talks in Abu Dhabi this week. The OSCE is seeking to return to a diplomatic role after being sidelined by Moscow since the war began. Now we welcome former Ambassador Mahi Sachdev. He's a former diplomat, joins us live from New Delhi. Thank you very much, Ambassador, for joining us again. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, Ambassador, how significant is this that, Europe has changed their stance about how they handle things with Russia, and they have decided to, directly be involved instead of through either US or any other country?
I think it's quite significant. It in part reflects lack of progress, as I see it, at Abu Dhabi talks, which concluded yesterday between United States, Ukraine and Russia. Except for release of some prisoners of war, nothing much was achieved. On the other hand, OSCE, of which United States is also a member, can play a useful role in creating ceasefire conditions and monitoring them. So, in a way, it is a parallel instrument, apart from bilateral talks, that can, in due course, create conditions once the border is decided upon, which is a big if, because Russia wants Donbas region to be entirely with it, even those areas which doesn't it control even at the moment, while Ukraine refuses to vacate the space for Russians on its own territory as it sees it. So OSCE could adopt a more flexible approach, less political and more, how should I put it, on the ground, factual presence, and that would provide both sides to de-escalate the situation.
Ambassador, don't you think that it's too late for them to kind of have effective or effective mediating role, as the war has already reached or fourth year almost, and also do you think that this whole thing, Ukraine and Russia, the war, do you think this has reflected West's limited effectiveness as a mediator?
I think that they have run out of instruments. The bilateral ties between Russia and Ukraine are at the nadir. They've been at war, and both sides have very stiff conditions. The support that United States and European side, West Europe, had for Ukraine is running thin. Therefore, this war of attrition, which is causing so much of damage to both sides, needs to be stopped without any one of the two sides losing faith. OSCE has been in limbo for quite some time because Russia had multiple reservations about its role and its dysfunctionality, which in part was due to Russia's different approach towards OSCE and its suspicion that OSCE was involved in various color revolutions during past 20 years in Central and Eastern Europe. Now, I think Russia is facing a decline in oil income, with India stopping to, or at least reducing to buy the oil from Russia. And Russians have to reluctantly agree to some kind of de-escalation, which may not be entirely on its own terms. So they are adopting a more flexible attitude towards OSCE intervention, and OSCE's role allows them to create a facade behind which some conciliatory approaches can be made. And the differences with Ukraine can be bridged. On the other hand, West European side has seen United States not being very reliable partner for North Atlantic defense during the Greenland crisis. America's ties with many countries, including France and Canada, have frayed. So Europeans need to find new instruments to de-escalate the Ukraine situation and cut their losses. And this is what is happening through OSCE.
Right. With that, I would like to thank Ambassador Mahis Sachdeh for sharing